whoever you love, we welcome
you. Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Toledo on this Sunday, October 26, 2025. My name is Stacia Hansen, and I am today's worship associate. With me today is our senior minister, Reverend Tim Barger, and our director of music, Jeffrey Maxey, who has some really interesting music planned for us today. He is also directing the First Unitarian Choir. Welcome, choir. In the back is our technical crew. It's led today by Director Walter McGee, Jeff Slauson on the soundboard, and Andy Gottman on cameras. Don't forget, Jeff Slauson is also our treasurer, so he's doing double duty today. We have many more volunteers helping with greeters in the lobby, security, religious education helpers in the RE wing, and a kitchen crew led by Carla Logan Mercer, who is planning for coffee hour and potluck lunch today. The only doctrine of our church is love, the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We welcome everyone. As we sang in our opening song, if you are a visitor, you may notice in the pew rack in front of you a yellow card. If you fill that out, that helps us to know that we have new seekers here, so please fill that out. We are also welcome everyone joining on the Toledo Unitarians YouTube channel. We are so glad you are here, and we hope this time serves your spirit.
Hi, I'm Reverend Tim, and let me add to Stacey's welcome. I'll say today that either I decided to be loyal to my school and dress in the black and orange of Hendrix College, or perhaps it has something to do with Halloween. You decide. The flame of the chalice that we light in our gatherings symbolizes courage and illumination and honors our search for truth and meaning. Let's all say the words for chalice lighting together. They're on the screen and in our order of service as Stasia lights the flame. Our chalice has the spirit of Unitarian Universalism. We light it centered in love. May it glow with sacredness and shine for each and for all. And let's continue reciting together with Stasia leading us in the covenant of our congregation. This is not a creed, but what we share with general agreement.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now please join in for some congregational singing with a selection from the new Unitarian Universalist online hymnal. We'll sing "This Boat" by Laura Zucker. The lyrics are in the order of service and on the screen. For you who are willing and able, please stand.
This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar.
This boat will carry us to the shore.
We all know hardship, we all know pain, but nothing ventured means nothing gained. And every rainbow needs the rain. You're not alone, try again. This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat carries us to the farthest shore. Even if your tempest is tossed, even if your all is lost, you've heard the thunder roar. Take a look at heaven's door. If you're sinking like a stone, this boat will carry you home. In this boat, there's nothing we can do together. No matter how times are lost, we will navigate by our stars. This boat is steady, this boat is sure. When you're ready, climb aboard. When you're ready, grab an oar. This boat carries us to the farthest shore. This boat will carry us to the farthest shore.
Morning. Am I audible? Yes and no. Mostly no.
You're on.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Good morning. I would like to ask my young friends to come forward to join me if they would like to. Today, we do not have a story, we have a game. I have here a list of 10 true or false Halloween questions. In the pews beside you, you will find some scrap paper and some writing implements. It might be necessary to pass a few things forward and backward to get them all evenly distributed. I am going to read the questions and give people about 5 seconds to write down their answer. Then I will call on a volunteer, hopefully one up front, to give us the answer. If the volunteer is correct, they will get a piece of candy. There are no stakes here and no prizes except some bragging rights if you enjoy those. All right, are we ready? All right, question 1. True or false? The fear of Halloween is called Samhainophobia. Samhainophobia. True or false? Atlas, you want to answer?
I think it's false.
It is actually true. It's a weird name, but Samhainophobia. Now you know what you have. True or false? Pumpkins contain about 200 seeds.
I think that one's true.
That one is also false. Pumpkins contain an average of 500 seeds. True or false? The tradition of bobbing for apples originated as a way to predict a good harvest. True or false?
False.
That's correct, it is false. Bobbing for apples began as a way to predict marriage. And grown-ups, if I give your children candy they cannot eat, I'm happy to switch it around. It's being unwrapped right now. Can this child eat little strawberry candies? Okay. Spoke too slowly on that one. True or false? In Mexico, Halloween is called Dia de los Muertos or Day of the Dead. Yes. True or false? That is false. Dia de los Muertos is not the same holiday as Halloween. Thank you. They are two separate traditions. Dia de los Muertos is older, and Halloween is also ancient. True or false? The jack-o'-lantern tradition began in ancient Rome. I believe that answer was false, which is correct. The Halloween tradition began in Ireland, and I am happy to retell the story of Joan the Wad to anyone who wants to hear it. You're welcome. True or false? Count Dracula is based on a real person.
That's true.
That is true. He is based on a ruler named Vlad Tepes, who lived in what is now Romania. His family name was Dracul, which means dragon. Thank you so much. That's cool. All right, true or false? Every year, people are attacked and killed by vampire bats.
That's false.
That is false. Vampire bats have been known to bite humans, but it is very rare. They will not drink your blood, but they could give you rabies, which is even worse. So do not mess with bats. Even though they're cute. True or false? The book Frankenstein is based on a true story.
I think that was true.
That one is false. The book Frankenstein was written by a teenage girl named Mary Shelley. It was published before she was 20, and it came completely from her imagination. She is now considered to be the founding mother of modern science fiction. True or false? Bloody Mary was a real person. Yes, that is true. Mary I of England was the daughter of King Henry VIII. She was called Bloody Mary for executing treasonists, traitors, and Protestants. True or false? The White House is haunted. Anybody want to go on the record with a guess?
It is now.
That people say it's true. President Lincoln is said to haunt the Lincoln bedroom. In the Blue Room, John Tyler continually proposes to his second wife, Julia. And you can find Abigail Adams doing laundry in the East Room. So, did anybody get 7 or more correct? I don't know, were you keeping records? I don't know. Did anybody get 8 or more correct? Yes, we got a halfway, which I suspect is the White House question. Did anybody get 9 or more? All right, congratulations to all our Halloween contestants. Thank you for playing, and I hope you all have a very ghostly holiday.
And let's sing for the children as they leave for religious education. I have a special request. Those pens that you used to fill out the answers, please don't take them home. Please leave them on the welcome table so Jenny and the religious educators can continue to use them here. Thank you. Now, in this first of 3 intentional times of spiritual practice in our Sunday gatherings, we look beyond ourselves, considering celebrations and sorrows and the state of things. I say intentional because I hope that for many of you, the entire Sunday service is filled with opportunities for spiritual practice. But the intentional ones are for us all to share in community. Join me for a time of having our spirit open to what is beyond ourselves. Here it is, the Sunday before Halloween. This coming Friday, children and their families will be in the neighborhoods, going door to door, asking trick or treat. Please give treats. There's too much trickery in their lives and in ours. Be generous. And don't set some type of age or size limit for whom you'll give treats to. Teenagers and even some adults will be wanting the experience of a good childhood night. And their lives are hard enough, aren't they? Help them to make it fun, and that can help yourself to be less judgmental if that's how you've been leaning. Now, you can have a bit of play at the same time. My wife has told the teens that in order to get a treat, they have to tell a joke or sing a song. But they get the treat anyway, even if they can't think of something funny or tuneful. Be nice, be kind, be encouraging for Halloween. And remember, it's a safe, scary time. Some pagans are Wiccans, and Wicca has both ancient and modern aspects and practitioners of that spirituality. Many Wiccans recognize a god and a goddess, celebrate seasons and other aspects of nature, and work what they understand to be magic. They have the Wiccan Rede. Halloween grew out of Wiccan and other pagan religious and spiritual observances of a holiday they call Samhain. But Halloween is the mostly secular way of bringing Samhain to general society. Some pagans are Wiccans, And Wicca has both ancient and modern aspects and practitioners of that spirituality. Many Wiccans recognize a god and a goddess, I said. And excuse me for one moment as my computer screen has decided to go blank and I need to find an alternative to continue with this time of spiritual practice. It should be only a moment. And here we are. But for this, I do need reading glasses. Call that a preview of Halloween tricks. You can hear that Wiccan and Wicca and witch are related words. Many Wiccans call themselves witches, and that's an identifying term for there being people who conduct religious practice. They don't have to be leaders. It's kind of the way that we Unitarian Universalists say that we all are ministers, but some of us have been ordained by our congregations as ministers in a profession. Know that all witches aren't scary. All Wiccans aren't scary. But human nature being what it is, there are scary people in all aspects of our worldly existence. And that includes people who practice Wicca, as well as people who are Unitarian Universalists. If someone tells you they're a witch, you might honor their commitment to religious grounding and personal growth. Some people who know they give unease to others work at being calm and don't intend to scare, certainly not to harm. You also try to be the best person you can be to yourself and others. There are people in our circles who, with their family and friends, have challenges of life and death, including hospice to help die with dignity. And we remember Jane Burns, who was in hospice and died this past week. Her memorial service will be Friday, November 8th at Rede Funeral Home, and more details will be shared closer to that time. People in our circles also have challenges of health and illness. That's physical health, mental health, emotional health, and many other kinds of healthiness. And all of this, we know, can bring unexpected complications and more professional attention. We have times of being at home and traveling, knowing financial security and anxiety-laden monetary stress. Decisions are being made by ourselves and by others on how we can live our best lives, which sometimes means aspiring to that, not having an easy way to get from here to there, and realizing we have moves yet to make to reach aims and goals. And individual and family ways go on, with new lives born and many other joys and celebrations. We all have bad days and good. May kindness and gentleness be with us. May we be compassionate to all, as we don't know what other people are going through. So treat one another well, and may we be glad for their celebrations and ours. And let's look for and take part in the good wherever we can find it. Let's continue to have First Unitarian be a place of welcome, of grace, even of refuge from hard times. and that in this liberal religious community, we can help one another, care for ourselves, and have our part in changing the world. Please share mercy and dignity, and remember to breathe. One reason we join in religious gatherings is to realize common links. We know that the uncommon is here too. Let's be together in faith, hope, and love. Amen.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. You better stop the things you do. I tell you I ain't lying. I ain't lying. You know I can't stand it. You're running around. You know better, baby. I can't stand it 'cause you put me down. Oh no, I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. You know I love you, I love you, I love you anyhow. And I don't care if you don't want me, I'm yours right now. I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. You know I can't stand it. You're running around. You better, baby. I can't stand you 'cause you put me down. Ooh, I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Because you're mine. Oh, because you're mine.
Please join me for more intentional spiritual practice, a time of meditation, contemplation, and prayer. These are words of Unitarian Universalist minister Andrea Hawkins Camper, who, as far as I know, is not related to Screamin' Jay Hawkins, the composer and singer of I Put a Spell on You. Gather we now into this space, this time when the wheel turns and the veil shatters. Gather we now to remember, to grieve, to prophesy, to complete our harvests before the long dark comes. Gather we now to tell the old stories and sing the old songs, to be as we have always been, the voice of our people eternal. Gather we now to celebrate that which was, that which is, and that which will be. Gather we now, as we have always done, united by story and bound by love. Let's observe 1 minute of silence, and then together we'll sing number 123, Spirit of Life. 1 minute of silence.
This reading is from On Repentance and Repair, Making Amends in an Unapologetic World by Dana Ruttenberg. And she says, addressing harm is possible only when we bravely face the gap between the story we tell about ourselves, the one in which we're the hero, fighting the good fight, doing our best, behaving responsibly and appropriately in every context, and the reality of our actions. We need to summon the courage to cross the bridge over that cognitively dissonant gulf and face who we are, who we have been, even if it threatens our story of ourselves. It is the only way we can even begin to undertake any possible repair of the harm we've done and become the kind of person who might do better next time. And that, in my mind, is what's truly heroic.
And ye harm none, do what ye will. That's the Wiccan Rede that we Toledo Unitarians, recognizing that some of our members identify as Wiccans as well as Unitarian Universalists, recite every Sunday, to be sure that regularly, not just at special times featuring Wicca, we include their ways that also fit the ways of Unitarian Universalists who aren't Wiccan, that we continue to respect earth-centered spirituality from which this comes. We Unitarian Universalists are pluralists. It's one of our primary values, centered in love, and we don't require people to abandon their Christianity or Judaism or Buddhism or atheism or Wicca to be Unitarian Universalists. We hope that they interweave their own practices and beliefs, and from that, help to build a broader religion for all of us. We see the spelling of Rede and probably wonder what that is too. It's not a common word, but it kind of fits, I think, when the Wiccan Rede includes the word ye a couple of times. The ye, according to an article on the Wiccan Rede I found by Googling, copyrighted in 1992 by Servants of the Elder Gods, Rocky Mountain Coven, and James C. Taylor, is the archaic plural form of you. The current word you denotes both the singular and the plural. The archaic word ye is always plural, it said. So the Rede is directed to all Wiccans, to ye. That "and" is also curious. It doesn't mean "and" with a D. And that online article says that though "and" is commonly updated as "if," it's more accurate to say "just so long as." Rede, my Merriam-Webster dictionary tells me, is archaic and means counsel, advice, account, and story, tracing to Middle English and other European words. "And ye harm none, do what ye will," is the closing phrase of the Wiccan Rede, a longer document that advises its practitioners what Wicca is and how it is to be observed. The Rede begins, "Bide within the law you must, in perfect love and perfect trust." Though it is archaic in its origins, Wicca also is contemporary, and the Rede remains its law. By the way, the Wiccan Rede tells us, as the old year starts to wane, the new begins. It's now Samhain. So we know this week to say Happy New Year to the Wiccans among us. And though we might also say Happy Halloween, they might interpret it as have a good Samhain. One other phrase I often use in a Sunday service, taken from the Wiccan Rede, is merry meet, merry part. The complete sentence in the Rede is merry meet and merry part, bright the cheeks and warm the heart. After we started reciting the Wiccan Rede regularly in our church gatherings, I started thinking about another phrase we hear sometimes. First, do no harm, which I understood to be the beginning of the Hippocratic Oath taken by physicians and other medical workers. Both the Rede and the oath try to keep harm away. I learned that first, do no harm is not in the Hippocratic Oath. But so many of us think those words are that they might as well be there. The phrase is still cited as part of the oath in academic and mainstream publications. Even so, first do no harm, I read, is traced to Hippocrates in the 4th century BCE. But it's not essential for us that first do no harm be tied to the person after whom the Hippocratic Oath is named. What's essential is that it's become common and good guidance. Wanting today's focus to be on first do no harm, there's no need for us to hear the full Hippocratic Oath in either of its two versions. One called the Ancient, which is attributed to Hippocrates, and the other modern, written in 1964 by Louis Lasagna, a Tufts University Medical School dean, and which is administered in many medical schools, I read. And the modern Hippocratic Oath is an update now that we have about 25 centuries more knowledge and development of science and culture and religion, which did lead to this sentence of the modern Hippocratic Oath. Above all, I must not play at God. Healers are people like we are. First do no harm is still attributed to Hippocrates and does have a second and a third. I found that Pope Francis listed the 3 instructions in a speech to medical workers a few years ago. He could easily say it in Latin, which I might mispronounce, but here goes. Primum non nocere, secundum cavere, tertium sanare, which is first, do no harm, second, take care, third, heal. Harm none, do no harm. Most of us, I'd say, don't think of ourselves as being people who give harm to others. As you heard in the reading Stacia gave from Rabbi Danya Ruttenberg, there's a reality to ourselves that includes that each of us is a person who can give harm. There's a heroic aspect, she added, that we can also try to repair harm and become people who do better next time. There are many types of harm, too. It can all be hurt, but there's physical harm, mental harm, emotional harm, psychological harm, sexual harm, financial harm, and other harm. Harm can come from assault, from stealing, from giving offense, from interacting with someone without consent. Rape is the immediate thought, but there are many other ways too. From gaslighting and from many other actions. Harm can also come from neglect, including but not limited to not doing something. That online article on the Wiccan Rede says that harm refers to anything which either you or any other person involved or affected by it would regard as loss, damage, pain, discomfort, injustice, invasiveness, or prevention relative to the situation existing before it was done. Anything which goes against another person's free will, even if it intends them good, would constitute serious harm. The Danya Ruttenberg reading you heard Stacia give from the book on repentance and repair was centered on harm, specifically on our own aspects of doing harm to others and to ourselves. We really do have to work at realizing that we can easily be hurtful to others, even hurtful to ourselves, and that carrying harm in us and to others is part of all our being. Remember the Wiccan Rede saying, "And ye harm none," includes yourself in that none. Self-harm is serious, and the self is the best person to address that. Getting outside help when it's needed, and sometimes even if not needed, but potentially helpful. Daniel Ruttenberg's words include that we can address harm and repair harm, not just put it behind us. Harm is here, and all of us must work on minimizing, even eliminating it. One reason to bring this talk on harm and its connections to a rede and an oath is that, as you heard, there's language and history that isn't clear and well known today. Even so, the instruction is direct in those phrases. Don't harm others or yourself. Don't harm at all. We're imperfect, and I know that harm will likely come anyway at times, but take up the ideal not to harm others, ever. And I also bring this up on this Sunday, close to Halloween, because of the association to safe scariness, as this is a safe time to talk about harm, I hope, as well, and that we can be open to that. Regardless of what words are in the Hippocratic Oath, let's keep first do no harm as a primary rule, okay? And follow those 8 words that fulfill the rede. And ye harm none, do what ye will. Blessed be, so be it. And Wiccans and all of us have a harmless Halloween.
It is now time for the offering, and we will pass the baskets at the front of the sanctuary. Please give generously. This community supports itself. As we've mentioned before, we do not receive funding from the Unitarian Universalist Association. And we thank you for helping Unitarian Universalism to thrive in Toledo. For more congregational singing, let's sing another selection from the new online hymnal, "We Offer These Gifts" by Michael Carney.
As we offer these gifts and lift up our spirits with the care in our hearts and the work of our hands, lead us to greater service and love.
Now it's the coming soon part of our gathering where we tell you what's scheduled for next Sunday. We give some announcements, and we also let you know what's up for right after we leave the sanctuary. Next Sunday, join us for Spiritual Forum in Fellowship Hall at 9:45 a.m. when our member Julia Calbus, who is a physician, will share health info you can use. That's 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, fall back and move your clocks and watches to an hour earlier, precisely at 2 a.m. next Sunday.
Next Sunday at the 11 a.m. service, Reverend Tim will give the second of a three-part series on the meaning of three descriptive words of our religion. The November 2nd entry is, "What does universalist mean?"
And Stacia, please tell us about a special project that's coming soon, but beginning today.
This is the first Sunday of our Memorial Brick Campaign, and I have a prop with me. We are selling 8x4 by 2-inch memorial bricks, and we're going to outline our new memorial garden with these bricks in the spring. The memorial garden is being renovated. It was taken over by weeds and invasive plants. Letha Sackman's son's Chris did quite a bit of work to remove what we don't want. In the spring, we'll put in what we do want. And we want to have 80 to 100 bricks sold so that we can outline the entire garden. It's a better way to memorialize people than by planting individual plants that require follow-up care. And it gives all of us a chance to think about people who built this congregation that we might want to remember, people in our own lives, beloved family members and friends, even beloved animal companions. Every brick will sell for $100. Second brick is half price at $50. This is a major fundraiser for the congregation, and we're hoping every single person here will buy at least one brick. I'll be in Fellowship Hall today at the brick table. There is a link on our webpage, and we have information you can take home so that you can think about what you want to do. I also wanted to give a shout out to the people who came out yesterday to work on the landscaping and the fall cleanup, which were Joe Moran, Jarvis and Marcia Campbell, Phil Teitelbaum, Dave Murray, and Paul Hansen.
I want to add one thing about the bricks that you see. We have the Chalice logo on this brick. You have the opportunity to have only words or choose from a wide variety of clip art that you can also put on the brick. And you'll see those in the supporting materials as well. And what was next? Let us see. Okay. At 7 p.m. this coming Tuesday, our Board of Trustees will hold its monthly meeting. Members are invited to sit in and observe, and that's one way to learn more about our church and how it's governed. And you might also notice in the hallway, the big bulletin board just in the west hallway is the Board of Trustees board, and it's been a bit re-energized recently, so you can see board announcements there.
The church is also preparing a new membership directory. They go out of date very quickly. And we like to take pictures of what our members look like now rather than 40 years ago. I know they're more flattering, but it does make it hard to identify you. So Tom Sheehan will be taking pictures next Sunday at the east entrance. So next Sunday, dress up and get your picture taken.
And this coming Sunday and on Wednesday, November 5th, we'll have programs about the death penalty. At 1 p.m. Sunday, November 2nd, just after coffee hour, our member Joe Moran, who has long been involved in advocacy to abolish the death penalty, will present an overview of the death penalty in the United States and internationally. That's as a prelude to a talk here at our church at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th, when author, law professor, and death penalty expert, I think that might be Wednesday, November 5th. I'm not certain. When author, law professor, and death penalty expert Corinna Barrett Lane will present Secrets of the Killing State, the Untold Story of Lethal Injection. The talk is sponsored by our Unitarian Action Group and by Ohioans to Stop Execution. One reason this is important is that the Ohio House of Representatives is considering an alternative to lethal injection, hydrogen hypoxia, suffocation. And Corinna Barrett Lane will share her research on lethal injection and hydrogen hypoxia as methods of execution. A reception will follow her talk, and we're asking you in the congregation to bring cookies and, if you can, to serve as volunteers at the reception. Cookies and a little sweetness after this might be beneficial to us.
We're still accepting volunteers for our holiday bazaar on Saturday and Sunday, November 9th and 10th. Wares should be handmade, PG-13 or cleaner, and not required, but certainly a holiday theme would be welcome. The vendor interest forms are at uutoledo.org. For vendors and shoppers, lunch, dessert, and bottled drinks will be available for sale during the bazaar. Baskets of goods will be raffled off, and if your committee or group could donate a basket, see Marcia Gamble. Other questions should be directed to Marnus Lawson or Sandra Kosick-Sills, who are coordinating the bazaar.
And in 3 weeks, there's a plan to have a committee fair after our Sunday service on November 16th. We're giving some advance notice so your committees, groups, and teams can start planning how you'll present your area. While I wonder how many people will take leftover Halloween candy if it lasts through half of November to their committee booths as an incentive for people curious about your committee, group, or team.
And our final coming soon entry is for me to invite you to join us in Fellowship Hall today after the service for coffee, conversation, and today our monthly potluck. Don't worry if you haven't brought food, there will be plenty of food, there always is. The religious education team will meet in Fellowship Hall at the same time. Look for their table or chairs, and you're invited to drop in, ask questions, share ideas, and learn more about the kids program. At the tail end of coffee hour, some of our members will break out board games and cards for an afternoon of our community at play. Be part of all this church activity.
And now, let's have one more observance of spiritual practice. We have gone beyond ourselves with the pastoral time and turned within for meditation, contemplation, and prayer. Now, recognizing the Buddhist thread in our congregation, we will share a time of metta, having for and sending to all beings love, kindness, and compassion. And as you heard, we also have pagans among us, so we will follow that with the Wiccan Rede, which you know all about now, don't you? Let's recite these together. May I, may we, and may all beings be well, be happy, be peaceful, be safe, awaken to the light of our true nature, and be free. and ye harm none, do what ye will. And now please join me in saying the words on the screen while Stasia extinguishes the chalice. We send the flame from our Unitarian Universalist chalice with the love on which we center everything to fire up the world and spread equity, generosity, interdependence, justice, pluralism, and transformation. May your thoughts be wise, your lips speak truth, your heart know love, and your hands do good works all the days of your life. Merry meet, merry part, and blessed be.
This friendly place, love give light to every face. May the kindness which we learn light our hearts till we return. As we leave this friendly place, love give light to every face. May the kindness which we learn light our hearts till we return. Light our hearts till we return.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good song.